everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today's video is very important because in it a series of important questions at TGT, PGT and NET level. Today we will do the practice set based on William Shakespeare and William Wordsworth. That is very important. So let's start the video. Look at the first question. Yes, here is. First one is, in Shakespeare's tragedies, the dominant note is. What is the dominant note in Shakespeare's tragedy? Shakespeare की tragedy में dominant note क्या है? First of all, let's see what is tragedy. Tragedy क्या है? Tragedy is a serious play that has sad ending. Tragedy is a serious play है that has sad ending, जिसकी ending sad होती है, painful होती है, that is called tragedy. Now look at the dominant note. Option first is destiny is a character, second reasonal is superior, third character is destiny, and fourth is character has no role. So what is the dominant note in his tragedies? Yes, option C is correct. Character is destiny is the dominant note of William Shakespeare's tragedies. Now look at the second question. The narrative poem Venus and Adonis is dedicated to. Narrative poem Venus and Adonis किसको डेडिकेट की गई है, किसको समर्पित की गई है? ऑप्शंस आर, फर्स्ट वन इज अर्ल ऑफ साउथहैम्पटन, सेकंड हेनरी रियोट्सले, third is Baron of Titsfield, and fourth is to these three, all of them. So the correct answer will be D. Means Venus and Adonis is dedicated to Earl of Southampton, Henry Wriothesley and Baron of Titsfield, to all them. Now look at the next question. Which play of Shakespeare is said to be unfinished? कौन सा शेक्सपियर का प्ले है जो अनफिनिश्ड कहा जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ हिज डेथ? ऑप्शंस आर, फर्स्ट वन इज हेनरी एट एंड पॉसिबली द लॉस्ट कैर्डिनियो, सेकेंड इज हैमलेट, थर्ड इज किंग लियर एंड फोर्थ इज हेनरी फोर्थ पार्ट सेकेंड. कौन सा शेक्सपियर का प्ले है दैट इज सेड टू बी अनफिनिश्ड? अनफिनिश्ड कहा जाता है. सो द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी ए, हेनरी एट्थ एंड पॉसिबली द लॉस्ट कैर्डिनियो. गॉट इट? नाउ लुक एट द फोर्थ क्वेश्चन. Yes, the first folio of William Shakespeare's play came in 1623, and for this credit goes to two actors, Hemming and Condell. The folio contains 36 plays. One play was not included. Which one? विलियम शेक्सपियर का जो फर्स्ट फोलियो रिलीज हुआ था इन 1623 कंटेन 36 प्लेस. वन प्ले वॉज नॉट इंक्लूडेड. इसमें वन प्ले इंक्लूड नहीं किया गया, सम्मिलित नहीं किया गया है. Let's find out that. So options are, first one is Pericles, second is Cymbeline, and third is Hamlet, and fourth is As You Like It. Which option is correct? Which play was not included in that first folio? Yes, option A is correct. Option A is correct. That is Pericles. Pericles was not included in his first folio that released or came in 1623. Who published the first life of Shakespeare in 1709? Options are, first one is Nicholas Raw, second is Dodden, third is Condell and fourth is Hemming. किसने सर्वप्रथम विलियम शेक्सपियर की लाइफ के बारे में पब्लिश किया था, बताया था? सो द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी Nicholas Rowe. And who was Nicholas Rowe? Nicholas Rowe was an English dramatist, poet, and miscellaneous writer also. Nicholas was an English dramatist, poet, and a miscellaneous writer. He published the first life of William Shakespeare in 1709. So the option A is correct. Now look at the next question. Yes. Next question is, who attacked Shakespeare in pamphlet? H will not there. Okay, H will be not there. Correct spelling of pamphlet. It is not pamphlet. Who attacked Shakespeare in a pamphlet called a Wordsworth of wit bout with a million of repentance. देखिए, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स नो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ अ ग्रोथ्स वर्थ ऑफ वेट बॉट विद अ मिलियन ऑफ रिपेंटेंस. इज अ ट्रैक्ट. अ ग्रोथ्स वर्थ ऑफ वेट बॉट विद अ मिलियन ऑफ रिपेंटेंस इज अ ट्रैक्ट. Okay, published as the work of Elizabethan author by Robert Greene. A groat's worth of wit bought with a million of repentance is a tract published as the work of the Elizabethan author Robert Greene in 1592. The year is 1592. So the correct answer will be A, Robert Greene. Now look at next one. Yes. Globe and Blackfriar are the names of the theatre. Globe and Blackfriar, which are associated with, किससे associate है, किससे connect है? The Globe Theatre and Blackfriar Theatre. Now let's know about Globe Theatre. The Globe, which opened in 1599. Globe is opened in 1599. Sorry, on 1599. Correct it. One second. Globe is on 1599. Mention the year. It is of Globe Theatre. The Globe, which opened in 1599, became the playhouse where audience first saw some of Shakespeare's best known plays. The Globe, which opened 1599 में ओपन किया था, became the playhouse. playhouse बन गया where audience, जहाँ पर audience first saw, सबसे पहले उन्होंने audience ने देखा था some of Shakespeare's best known plays. शेक्सपियर के बेस्ट प्लेस, कुछ बेस्ट प्लेस को इन ग्लोब. एंड व्हाट अबाउट ब्लैकफ्रायर्स? इन मार्च 1613, द ईयर ऑफ ब्लैकफ्रायर इज इन मार्च 1613. In March 1613, William Shakespeare and 3 associates agreed to purchase the Blackfriar. In 1613 में विलियम शेक्सपियर के साथ में अदर जो 2 थे उन्होंने डिसाइड किया था, दे एग्रीड टू परचेज द ब्लैकफ्रायर थिएटर को परचेज करने के लिए. सो ऑप्शन are Ben Jonson, Milton, Chaucer and William Shakespeare. So the correct answer will be William Shakespeare. Now look at the next one. Yes. It is said that Henry VIII is a work of Fletcher and, ऐसा कहा जाता है कि हेनरी एट्थ वर्क है फ्लेचर का एंड आपको बताना है नेक्स्ट नेम. ऑप्शंस आर विलियम शेक्सपियर, बॉर्मोंट, बेन जॉनसन एंड नन ऑफ दिस. So first of all, let's know about Henry VIII. Henry VIII is a collaborative history play. It is collaborative history play written by William Shakespeare and John Fletcher, based on the life of Henry VIII. जो Henry VIII की लाइफ पे बेस्ड है, that is the collaborative history play written by John Fletcher and William Shakespeare. So the correct answer will be A, William Shakespeare. What is Henry VIII? Henry VIII is a history play. Note down is, it is a history play. That is the collaborative work of John Fletcher and William Shakespeare. Now look at the next question. That is 9th number. शेक्सपियर्स कंटेम्प्रेरी वॉज. शेक्सपियर के कंटेम्प्रेरी कौन था? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ कंटेम्प्रेरी? कंटेम्प्रेरी मीन्स होता है समकालीन. कंटेम्प्रेरी मीन्स होता है समकालीन. ओके. Actually, there are 2 to 3 or more contemporary of William Shakespeare. So we have to know the first options. ठीक है, हम लोग को पहले options की तरफ देखना हो कि options क्या दिए गए हैं. Because सिर्फ एक contemporary नहीं थे उनके. Let's know about Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson, what is the meaning of contemporary? We regularly stage plays by Shakespeare's contemporaries, playwright working in the same era as Shakespeare included. Contemporary means होता है कि सेम टाइम में, सेम एरा में जो प्ले राइट्स थे जो वर्क करते थे किसके जैसे? विलियम शेक्सपियर के जैसे. इन द सेम एरा ऑल्सो those were known as contemporary of William Shakespeare. There are few names. Note down it. Christopher Marlowe, Christopher Marlowe. Another is Thomas Middle, John Webster. All they were the contemporary of William Shakespeare. Ben Jonson, and Thomas Dekker. Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Middle, John Webster, Ben Jonson and Thomas Dekker. They 5. They all were the contemporary of William Shakespeare. Let's come towards the options. First one is Milton, Chaucer, Eliot, and another one. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yes, another is Ben Jonson. So the correct answer will be Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson was the contemporary of William Shakespeare. Beside him, Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Middle, John Webster and Thomas Dekker, also the contemporary of William Shakespeare. Now let's see the next question. One that loved not wisely but too well. It is very famous quote of. देखते हैं किसका quote है ये. First of all, let's know the meaning of one that loved not wisely but too well. What is the meaning of this particular quote? Through this quote, he suggests that the reason he acted so rashly and killed his wife with no real proof she was cheating on him was that his love was strong but not wisely. इस पर्टिकुलर कोटो का मीनिंग है कि एक्चुअली ऑप्शन विच ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट हियर वी टॉक अबाउट ओथेलो. Othello speaks this quarto in the same name play Othello. He suggests that the reason he acted so rashly and killed his wife, वो ओथेलो ने अपनी वाइफ को किल किया था, उसके पीछे उसने रीज़न जो दिया था दैट विद नो रियल प्रूफ शी वॉज चीटिंग ऑन हिम was that his love was strong, कि उसका लव स्ट्रांग था बट हिज वाइफ cheating on him. So he stated this quarto that his love was strong but not wisely because he killed his wife. So the option A is correct, Othello. Here we talk about Othello. Now look at the next. Yes. Julius Caesar and Antony and Cleopatra are Roman plays. Julius Caesar and Antony and Cleopatra are Roman plays. Roman plays हैं. There is one more Roman play written by Shakespeare. इनके अलावा भी एक और रोमन प्ले है जो शेक्सपियर के द्वारा लिखा गया है. Find it out. So the options are Coriolanus, Tempest, Romeo's Juliet and none of these. First option A is correct. Coriolanus. Coriolanus is a Roman play. Let's know about it. Antony and Cleopatra yet dealing with semi-legendary events in the 5th century. Written after Coriolanus was written after the Antony and Cleopatra, yet dealing with the semi-legendary events in the 5th century. The play belongs to 5th century. Okay. After Antony and Cleopatra, Coriolanus was written by William Shakespeare. Another question is the Tempest contains only. Options are lines के बारे में पूछा गया है कि the Tempest contains how many lines are there in Tempest. First option is 20,000 lines. Second is 2086. Before go the third option, let's know about the Tempest. The Tempest. The Tempest, like all Shakespeare comedies, Shakespeare की जो बाकी comedies है उसकी उन्हीं की तरह The Tempest is the play revolves happily with the promise of a wedding. Revolves happily with the promise of wedding between Miranda and Ferdinand. Tempest में किसका wedding था? Miranda and Ferdinand. They are the main character of Tempest. Tempest was the comedy by William Shakespeare. Okay. So the third option is 1000 lines and fourth option is none of these. First option is 20,000, second option is 2086 lines and third option is 1000 lines and none of this. So the correct answer will be B. How many lines? The Tempest contains only 2086 lines. The Tempest contains 2086 lines. Now look at the next question. A little water clears us of the deed. Who says and to whom? ये लाइन ये पर्टिकुलर कोटो पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट किसने कहा था और किससे? देखिए, a little water clears us of the deed. This line, Lady Macbeth says this to her husband in Act 2, Scene 2. Who says? Lady Macbeth to Macbeth. When? In Act 2 and Scene 2. After he has just killed Duncan and she was smeared the grooms with Duncan's blood to frame them for the deed. Lady Macbeth says this to her husband in Act 2, Scene 2, after he has just killed Duncan and she was smeared the grooms with Duncan's blood to frame them for the deed. Lady Macbeth says, a little water clears us of the deed. Now look at the question 14th. Okay. Are my right-minded Shakespeare? This is the phrase about Shakespeare by. The meaning of this phrase is हमारे असंख्य दिमाग वाले शेक्सपियर. This is the phrase about Shakespeare by S.T. Coleridge. S.T. Coleridge had given this particular phrase about William Shakespeare's "Are my right-minded Shakespeare?" Look at the next question, 15th. Okay, a little more than kin and less than kind. Who says? A little more than kin and less than kind. Who says? Options are, first option is Hamlet and second option is Othello, third is Claudius and fourth is none of these. So what is the correct option? Are a little more than kin and less than kind. This statement has given by Hamlet. Hamlet means that Claudius is more than just Hamlet's uncle. The meaning of a little more than kin means Claudius is more than just Hamlet's uncle. He is now his stepfather. He is now his stepfather because Hamlet's mother remarried with Claudius after the death of King Hamlet. Hamlet said this particular quote, a little more than kin and less than kind. Here he means that Claudius is more than just Hamlet's uncle. He is now his stepfather. So option first is correct. Hamlet. Hamlet is the correct answer. Hamlet said this. Now look at the another. Yes, very very important. Make a star. Frailty. Frailty, the name is woman. Who says? Frailty, the name is woman. The famous and important quarto. Who says it and what is the meaning of this particular quarto? Options are uh, Villova to herself, Philula to Olivia, and Hamlet to himself, and Hamlet to Queen Gertrude. So the option D is correct. Hamlet said this to Queen Gertrude. Hamlet means that he sees her. हर यहाँ पे किसको इंडिकेट कर रहा है? क्वीन ग्रेट्यूड को. ही सीज हर मीन्स हर मदर मोरली वीक बिकॉज शी हैज़ बेट्रेड हर हस्बैंड, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपने हस्बैंड को बेट्रेड किया था बाय रिमैरिंग हिज ब्रदर क्लॉडियस जस्ट 1 month आफ्टर हर हस्बैंड डेथ. अपने हस्बैंड की किंग हैमलेट की डेथ के जस्ट आफ्टर 1 month she married to Claudius. So Hamlet said this particular quarto to her mother. Hamlet means here he sees her morally weak because she has betrayed her husband by marrying his brother Claudius just 1 month after her husband's death. So the correct option is D. Hamlet said this to Queen Gertrude. Now look at the next question. 17th is, yes, doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Where do these lines appear? ये lines कहाँ से extract की गई हैं, कहाँ से ली गई हैं? Options are, first is Hamlet, second is Othello, third is यहाँ पे love होगा, love labors lost, and fourth option is Twelfth Night. Okay, so the correct answer will be A, Hamlet. In Hamlet these lines appear. Now look at the next. Yes, our thoughts is our, their ends none of our own. Who speaks this and where? Our thoughts is our, their ends none of our own. Options are, first option is king in Hamlet, second is queen in Hamlet, third is grave digger in Hamlet, and fourth is Horatio in Hamlet. So the correct answer will be king in Hamlet. King speaks this in Hamlet. Our thoughts is our, their ends none of our own. Okay. Now look at the next question. O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain. Who speaks this? Let's see what is the meaning of O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twains. Means you have broken my heart. You have broken my heart. Okay. Who speaks this? Option A is correct. Queen Gertrude. Queen Gertrude speaks this. O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain, means you have broken my heart. Okay. Now look at the next question. Yes. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Malvolio, the sword to Olivia, reads this in a letter forget by Maria. In which play does Malvolio appears? First of all, look at the particular quarto. Okay. Some are, 1 minute. Some are born great. This quarto, yes. Options are As You Like It, The Tempest, Twelfth Night, and none of these. This quarto appears in Act 2nd, Scene 5 of Twelfth Night. Twelfth Night is the correct answer. Act 2 and Scene 5th of Twelfth Night. It was written by Maria. That particular quarto, Some Are Born Great, that particular quarto was written by Maria. Note here, written by Maria. Okay. Now look at the 21st question. Whose work is Shakespeare? His word, his art. किसका वर्क है? Whose work is his word and his art? One second. First of all, look at the meaning of that quarto. I'll explain it. One second. In 8th number, yes. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. The meaning of this particular quarto, that even if one is at a low social level at this moment, even if one is at a low social level at this moment in their life, but it is possible to change that. Possibilities हैं कि उसको change किया जा सकता है. The meaning of this particular quarto is even if one is at a low social level at this moment in their life, it is possible to change that. So the correct answer is Twelfth Night. Okay. In Act 2nd, Scene 5th. It was written by Maria. Now look at the 21st question. Whose work is Shakespeare, his word and his art? So the correct answer will be B. Correct answer will be second. Now look at the next question. Who wrote Introduction to Shakespeare, published from Karnataka Publishing House, Bombay? किसने राइट किया था इंट्रोडक्शन टू शेक्सपियर? Correct answer will be A. K.G. Pandit. K.G. Pandit has written the introduction to Shakespeare and published from Karnataka Publishing House, Bombay. Now look at the next question. Yes. The question is, who wrote Shakespeare's criticism, an essay in synthesis? Who wrote Shakespeare's criticism? किसने राइट किया था Shakespeare criticism, an essay in synthesis? Options are R.W. Desai, C. Narayan, K.G. Pandit, and none of these. So the correct answer will be second, C. Narayan. C. Narayan has written Shakespeare criticism, an essay in synthesis. Now look at the next question. Whose book is Shakespeare's Latencies? किसकी book है Shakespeare's Latencies? Options are R.W. Desai, Ram Bilas Sharma, and Sri Aurobindo, and fourth is none of these. So the correct answer will be R.W. Desai. One second. Yes, correct answer will be R.W. Desai. Now look at the next question, 25th. Resolution and Independence 1802 was originally called. Resolution and Independence 1802 was originally called. Options are, first one is leech gatherer, lamina, determination, and none of these. Correct answer will be A, leech gatherer. Now look at the next question. Milton, thou shouldst be living at his hour. These lines appear in. Look at the 26th question. Milton, thou shouldst be living at his hour. Look, this opening line, W. Wordsworth, means William Wordsworth, begins one of his most famous. Here the poet compares the older writer to a star. Older writer to a star. Something removed from the mass of humanity and superior to the rest of us. The author says here that the poet compares the older writer to a star and something removed from the mass of humanity and superior to the rest of us. So the correct answer will be Milton, D. Now look at the next question. We are pressed by heavy loss. Where does this line appear? ये लाइन आपको कहाँ देखने को मिलती है? ठीक है, the quartos where we are pressed by heavy loss means through this poem he says the importance of nature to an individual's intellectual and spiritual development. The poem is The Fountain. In the poem The Fountain, we saw the quarto, we are pressed by heavy loss, and through this poem he says, means Wordsworth says the importance of nature to individuals intellectual and spiritual development. व्यक्ति के इंटेलेक्चुअल, बौद्धिक और स्पिरिचुअल डेवलपमेंट में नेचर का क्या रोल है वो बताया है. नेचर के इम्पोर्टेंस को एक्सप्लेन किया गया है. नाउ लुक एट द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन is who calls Wordsworth one of the giants of English poetry? इंग्लिश पोइट्री का जाइंट्स वर्ड्सवर्थ को किसने कहा है? Who calls? Options are, first John Cron Ransom, Sampson, Campton Rickett, and none of the above. So the correct answer will be A, John Crow Ramson calls Wordsworth one of the giants of English poetry. Now look at the next one, 30th question. Who calls Wordsworth a mountain, the most massive in the lofty range, which is called the romantic revival? Options are John Cron Ransom, Sampson Rickett, and J.C. Smith. Which one is correct? Option D is correct. J.C. Smith. J.C. Smith calls Wordsworth a mountain, the most massive in that lofty range, which is called the romantic revival. Next is, every great poet is a teacher. I wish to be considered as a teacher or as nothing. Who said? Every great poet is a teacher. According to this quarto, every great poet, सभी जो महान पोइट हैं, कवि हैं, वो एक टीचर हैं, एक अध्यापक हैं, शिक्षक हैं. आई विश टू बी कंसिडर्ड, मैं भी यही चाहता हूँ कि मुझे भी ऐसा कंसिडर किया जाए, मुझे भी समझा जाए एज अ टीचर और एज नथिंग, या फिर एक टीचर या फिर कुछ भी नहीं. हु सेड इट? ऑप्शंस आर अर्नोल्ड, शैले, कीट्स एंड वर्ड्सवर्थ. So the correct answer will be Wordsworth, William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth quoted that quotation. Next number is 32. And who was Wordsworth great idol? वर्ड्सवर्थ का ग्रेट आइडल अपना आदर्श किसे मानते थे वो? ऑप्शंस आर मिल्टन, शेक्सपियर, गुडविन और नन ऑफ दीज. As you know from his literary work, the correct answer will be yes, John Milton. Who calls Wordsworth the historian of Wordsworthshire? किसने कहा वर्ड्सवर्थ को द हिस्टोरियन ऑफ वर्ड्सवर्थशायर? ऑप्शंस आर लोवेल, सैम्पसन, कैम्पटन रिकेट और नन ऑफ दीज. करेक्ट आंसर विल बी लोवेल. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज वर्ड्सवर्थ वॉज हार्डली अ मैन but a wandering spirit with strange adventures and no end to them. Who said Wordsworth was a hardly man but a wandering spirit with strange adventures and no end to them? The correct answer is, first look at the options. A. Milton, another is Coleridge, third is Lamb, and fourth is Shelley, P.B. Shelley. So the correct answer will be D. Shelley. Look at the another one. Who calls Wordsworth one of the chief glories of English poetry? Underline it. It is also important. Who calls Wordsworth? Wordsworth को किसने बुलाया ये कहकर, या किसने ये टाइटल दिया वन ऑफ द चीफ ग्लोरीज, मुख्य ग्लोरीज ऑफ इंग्लिश पोइट्री, इंग्लिश पोइट्री की मुख्य ग्लोरी कंसिडर किया गया है? हु सेड इट? ऑप्शंस आर अर्नोल्ड, टेनिसन, मिल्टन और कॉलरिज. सो द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी टेनिसन. नेक्स्ट इज हु कॉल्स द इमोरलिटी ओड the highest watermark of poetry? Immortality ode को highest watermark of poetry का किसने कहा है? And the immortality ode was written by William Wordsworth. So the correct answer is Sampson, Walter Allen, Emerson, none of these. Which one is correct? Emerson. Emerson is correct. Emerson calls the immortality ode the highest watermark of poetry. Make a star here. 1 second. Yes. Now the next question is, Wordsworth is not always melodious, that he is seldom graceful and only occasionally inspired. Who said it? Wordsworth is not always melodious, that he is seldom graceful and only occasionally inspired. The options are William J. Long, Sampson, Campton Rickett, and or none of these. So the correct answer will be William J. Long. Criticize him by saying that the previous quote. Which one? Wordsworth is not always melodious, that he is seldom graceful and only occasionally inspired. Its correct answer is William J. Long. Look at the another one. The prelude is said to be the prelude को क्या माना जाता है? Spiritual autobiography of Wordsworth, psychological autobiography of Wordsworth, biographical sketch of Wordsworth, or none of these. What is prelude is said to be? The prelude is said to be, yes, the correct answer is A, spiritual autobiography of Wordsworth. Autobiography means आत्मकथा, आत्मजीवन परिचय. Biography means life history of someone other, और ऑटोबायोग्राफी मीन्स खुद के बारे में, खुद की जीवनी. Another question is, she gave me eyes, she gave me ears, and humble cares, and delicate fears. आई ट्रेवल इसके ऑप्शंस जो हैं ये थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग है, इसे ज़रा करेक्ट कर लीजिएगा. आई ट्रेवल ये इतना पार्ट इनकरेक्ट है. क्वेश्चन को कंप्लीट करेंगे विद अनदर पेज. शी गेव मी आइज, शी गेव मी ईयर्स, एंड हम्बल केयर्स एंड डेलिकेट फेयर्स. दीज लाइन्स आर रेफरेंस टू. अब ये लाइन्स किसके रेफरेंस में विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ ने कही थी, विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ ने डेडिकेट किया था किसके लिए? रिवर वाई के लिए, एनेटी वॉलेन के लिए, या डॉर्थी वर्ड्सवर्थ और एंस्ट्रेल स्कॉटलैंड. सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज डॉर्थी वर्ड्सवर्थ. हु वॉज शी? शी वॉज विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ सिस्टर, डॉर्थी वर्ड्सवर्थ. डॉर्थी वर्ड्सवर्थ के लिए अबव लाइन्स शेक्सपियर ने डेडिकेट की थी. What are the lines? She gave me eyes, she gave me ears, and humble cares and delicate fears. William Wordsworth dedicated these lines to her sister Dorothy Wordsworth. Okay. Now look at the 40th question. The epical poem Prelude is in the 3 version. Prelude is in 3 version. The 1799 prelude, which is called the two-bar prelude, was composed during 1798 to 99, and the 1805 prelude was which is in 13 books, was discovered and printed by Ernest de Selincourt in 1926. The third version, 1850 prelude, was published after. It was posthumous work of William Wordsworth. Which option is correct? Options are Wordsworth death in 14 books, after William Wordsworth death in 12 books, after Milton's death in 12 books, or Eliot's death in 12 books. So the correct answer will be yes, after William Wordsworth death in 14 book. It is important. प्रिल्यूड जो एपिकल पोएम है वो पब्लिश्ड हुई थी इन 1850 में आफ्टर द विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ डेथ इन 14 बुक्स. नाउ लुक एट द नेक्स्ट वन. यस, विच इज वर्ड्सवर्थ फर्स्ट वॉल्यूम ऑफ पोइट्री? वर्ड्सवर्थ की फर्स्ट वॉल्यूम ऑफ पोइट्री क्या थी? ऑप्शंस आर फर्स्ट prelude, Tintern Abbey, descriptive sketches, and none of these. First volume of poetry named as descriptive sketches is known as descriptive sketches. Wordsworth first volume of poetry is known as descriptive sketches. Okay, now look at the next one. Where does Wordsworth compare himself to an Aeolian harp? Now, what is the meaning of Aeolian harp? Aeolian harp का meaning क्या है? What is the meaning of Aeolian harp? Aeolian harp means a kind of musical instrument. Aeolian veena. Harp means veena. Okay. कहाँ पे वर्ड्सवर्थ ने अपने आप को कंपेयर किया था एलियन हार्प से, वीणा से? ऑप्शंस आर इन द प्रील्यूड, इन टिंटन एबे, इन प्रील्यूड, और नन ऑफ दीज. सो द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी इन द प्रील्यूड. इन द प्रील्यूड विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ कंपेयर हिमसेल्फ टू एन एलियन हार्प. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज जस्ट फॉर अ हैंडफुल ऑफ सिल्वर he left us, just for a ribband to stick in his coat. These lines are about Wordsworth, who wrote ये लाइन किसने राइट की है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल understand the meaning of these lines and what was the reason behind these lines. Just for a handful of silver he left us, just for a ribbon to stick in his coat. It is thought that Browning wrote the poem to criticize his contemporary romantic poet William Wordsworth. विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ ब्राउनिंग के कंटेम्प्रेरी पोइट थे, उनको क्रिटिसाइज करने के लिए ये लाइन और ये पोएम पब्लिश की थी किसने? ब्राउनिंग ने. एंड व्हाट वाज द पोएम नेम? द लॉस्ट लीडर. टू क्रिटिसाइज हिम. टू क्रिटिसाइज. टू whom? To criticize William Wordsworth. Browning wrote the poem or composed the poem The Lost Leader to criticize William Wordsworth by saying, just for a handful of silver he left us, just for a ribbon to stick in his coat. So the correct answer is A. Browning in The Lost Leader. Now look at the next one. Yes, Wordsworth gives you the bird and the flowers, and the tree and the leaves, just as they are, and is content to let them speak their own message. Who expressed this opinion about Wordsworth? वर्ड्सवर्थ के बारे में ये ओपिनियन अपनी किसने एक्सप्रेस की थी, किसने प्रदर्शित की थी? What was the opinion? Wordsworth gives you the bird and the flowers. So the correct answer will be D. Long. Wordsworth gives you the birds and the flowers means वर्ड्सवर्थ जो पोइट थे, नेचर ऑफ पोइट थे, पोइट ऑफ नेचर थे एंड नेचर लवर थे, उनकी क्वालिटीज़ बताने, उनको डिस्क्रिप्टिव करने के लिए लॉन्ग ने ये स्पीक किया था, ये बताया था, देयर ओन मैसेज, अपना एक पर्सनल ओपिनियन शेयर की थी वर्ड्सवर्थ के बारे में. Now look at the 45th number. What does Browning call Wordsworth? Browning ने वर्ड्सवर्थ को क्या कहा था, क्या कह के बुलाया था? What was the title given by Browning to Wordsworth? Options are a lost leader, faithless, a moral inch, or none of these. So the correct answer will be a lost leader. Browning has given the title A Lost Leader to William Wordsworth to criticize him. Now look at the next 46th number. Wordsworth, Coleridge and Southey are famous as the poets of. Options are nature poet, romantic poet, ocean district, or lake district. As you know that William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge and Southey are known as the lake poets because they belong to the lake district. Okay. Now look at the next one. There neither is nor can be any initial difference between the language of prose and metrical composition. There is neither is nor can be any initial, कोई भी इनिशियल डिफरेंस नहीं है, कोई भी आवश्यक डिफरेंस नहीं है बिटवीन द लैंग्वेज ऑफ प्रोज की लैंग्वेज में एंड मेट्रिकल कॉम्पोजिशन में. हु सेड इट? द ऑप्शंस आर वर्ड्सवर्थ, बी कॉलरेज, सी लैम्ब एंड फोर्थ अर्नोल्ड. सो द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth said that there is neither is nor can be any initial difference between the language of prose and metrical composition. Now look at the next one. Classicism is health and romanticism is disease. Who said it? Classicism is health and romanticism is disease. Whose remark is this? So the options are Goethe, Arnold, Shakespeare and D. Sampson. So the correct answer will be Goethe. It is Goethe's remark that classicism is health and romanticism is disease. Now look at the next one. Who calls Wordsworth a mountain the most massive in that lofty range, which is called the Romantic Revival? Who called it? Who calls Wordsworth a mountain the most massive in that lofty range, which is called the Romantic Revival? I think this question is repeated. So as you know that the correct answer will be D. J.C. Smith. Now look at the last question of this video. We are selfish men, oh raise us up, return to us again. We are selfish men, oh raise us up and return to us again. These lines appears in, first of all let's know the meaning of these lines. Here the speaker declares that we किसको एक्सप्रेस कर रहा है? द इंग्लिश पीपल ऑफ हिज टाइम. वी इज कंसिडर्ड एज द इंग्लिश पोएट ऑफ हिज टाइम. ओके, आर सेल्फिश, वो कैसे हैं? सेल्फिश हैं. एंड वी बैग्स मिल्टन, और हम मिल्टन से बैग्स करते हैं टू हेल्प देम, उनको हेल्प करने के लिए. गेट आउट ऑफ देयर स्लम्प, अपने स्लम्प से बाहर निकलने के लिए वी बैग्स टू मिल्टन टू हेल्प देम गेट आउट ऑफ देयर स्लम्प. We are selfish man. We as the English people of his time are selfish. Oh raise us up, return to us again, means we begs Milton to help them get out of their slump. These lines appear in To Milton. It was written by William Wordsworth. So all the questions from this video is very important for the upcoming exam of TGT, BGT English. So see you soon with another useful content. Do support, do subscribe, and thank you for watching it.